You can have the income, the house, the family, and still wake up feeling lost. Here's the psychology behind why. All right, so here's a little disclaimer. The disclaimer is this is just the stuff that helped me out whenever I was in your situation. If you have the house, you have the income, you got everything going on, you still feel lost, you're like, dude, why don't I feel fulfilled? Why can I never reach a point? Because when you chase the bag, let's say you're trying to hit the first time, let's say you're trying to hit 4,000 a month. You hit the 4K, then you want to hit 10, then you want to hit 20, and then you want to hit 100. And then one time I made 50,000 in a weekend. If you haven't made that kind of money, then you're not going to be able to relate to what I'm saying right now, because it's one of those things where you got to get there to actually understand. But it's like the Andy Farcella. I saw one of his videos the other day. He was talking about, he's got a ton of cars, Ferraris, Lamborghinis, got old trucks, freaking incredible. But he said that that thing only lasts, whenever you get it, only lasts for a couple of weeks or maybe 2 months, and then you're back to square one. The euphoria doesn't stay. It's the same thing with the money. And so in 2014, I was there. I made the money. And it just seemed like I always wanted to push the bar. Well, what else can I do? What's the next move? I said this in my previous video. And I got some notes so that way I don't go on a tangent, man. I could be talking about this stuff all day. So that was the disclaimer though. That long ass piece, the whole thing was a disclaimer. This is one of the things when you start diving inward to figure out what's what, you come across all this kind of information. And I can tell you this, if you're coming across this video right now, I don't believe in coincidences. So this video is, you might take away one or two things. You might want to come back and just check it out. Back in 2014, I was in that spot. I had made the money. I had the house, I had the income, I had the family, but I still was like, what's the next move? And it wasn't until I separated with my kid's mom, we separated and kind of dove inward. So this video is going to show you exactly why and how to fix it, psychology behind it. So if you're not familiar with it, there's a pyramid called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Now the pyramid is 1 through 5 levels, 1 through 5, and it's literally structured like a pyramid. So I'll put the image up, but as you can see, the first level, I don't know where it's at, to be honest with you. This is my first time doing this, so I might be pointing, who knows, at the light, and it's the image is over here. But the first level, if you can see it, that's the foundation part. And basically, the first level, after you have everything done there, your next mission is to get to level 2. And then if you got both levels 1 and 2 good, you can make it to level 3. And then you make it to 4 and then 5. The issue, though, is that whenever you get to 1 and 2, those are physical, making the money. The second one is basically having the savings. But the third one though, the third level is a little tricky, because the third level is essentially love and belonging. So you can actually be there. And if you're a high performer and you're doing all kinds of stuff all the time, maybe even whenever you're with your family, I don't know if you're doing this, because whenever I was in 2014, there wasn't really YouTube the way it is now. But there's a lot of information out there. But nonetheless, if you're at level 3 and you have the money, one of the things that you can notice that you'll be doing is whenever you're around the family, or you're around people that matter to you, and you're just on your phone. So your body's there, but your mind's not there. Now that's the issue with number 3 going to number 4, because that's one of the only pillars that you can, well, not pillars, but steps or levels, I should say, that you can actually have it there, but it's not as strong, you know what I mean, as it would like levels 1 and 2, because those are physical. You can actually see the first one, as a matter of fact, food and shelter. It's all the basic needs that we need. I have everything right here, so I won't forget anything. So you can tell I already went on a rant. So the first pillar is just survival mode. If you're in survival mode, no need to worry about any of the other pillars. If you're watching this video, you already passed this. But basically it's water, shelter, sleep, air, the basic biological function, physical survival needs. So that's the first level. So level 2 is security mode. You have savings, you have everything around you, you're safe. You're not in a place where you got to worry about where's your next meal coming from, because you got the money coming in, you got a steady job, or you got steady income coming in. So these are all the basic ones. But basically, level 2 is just security. Just knowing that you're safe, you have some savings. You crush this too though. You got money in the bank, you got a home, you're good. So level 3, this is the connection mode. This is where most successful men get stuck, especially if we're on this. If you guys are really making money and you're on track, you're really hustling, you're putting in work in, when you can see, especially if you're an entrepreneur, there's not really no balance. There's certain things you can do. You can make a schedule, you can do all kinds of stuff. And the only thing I say when it comes to balance, I haven't figured one out. I haven't figured out a balance yet. The way it works with me is that I planned something. Last month I went and spent a week with just me and my kids. I wasn't doing anything, just me and them. We disconnected. I rented an Airbnb, went to another city. We hung out for a whole week. Didn't do shit. They're just there at the house. It's freaking amazing. I got a bond with each and every one. Our bond got stronger. Their connections got stronger because nobody was really on their phones. We were all playing. The Airbnb was pretty badass. They had a bunch of different games, and it wasn't expensive either. They were just regular board games and regular games that we can actually play with each other. So that was pretty cool. But bonding, so that's one of the things I do. So level 3, connection mode. What it is, deep relationships and connections, feeling loved. It's these things, feeling loved and accepted, sense of belonging, stuff like that. Actually being there and where you want to be. We spend most of our times, as a matter of fact, I was at church today and they were talking about this. And he's basically talking about forgiveness. But one of the things I took out of it, which I didn't really, like I knew, but I didn't really know, or maybe it's been a while and haven't really paid attention to it. But the main thing was you spend most of your time with your loved ones. And so most of the time you'll treat a stranger different versus you would a loved one, right? So let's say a stranger did XYZ to you, and then one of your loved ones did the exact same thing. You would be like, whatever, to the stranger. But to your loved one, you would be pissed. You'd have a completely different reaction when it comes to your loved one because we spend more time with them. That's why. So we take advantage of the people we have close to us, meaning advantage of the time, not of the people, but of the time that we have close to us. That was pretty powerful. So signs you're stuck. Have relationships but feel disconnected. Provide for the family but feeling emotionally distant. Surface level friendships only. The stuff you have going on right now, do you have somebody to talk about with when it comes to the business side of things? One of the issues that I had whenever I was growing up and I was making this money, doing all this stuff, I was the only one like this. I didn't know anybody that was doing businesses. I didn't know anybody who was running anything. I didn't know about any books. I didn't know, there wasn't YouTube really in 2014. Well, at the time it was 2002 to 2014. So any period along that time. So I didn't really know anybody doing this shit. It was just me. And I was just grinding it out. It was night and day, night and day, night and day. I didn't have no kids at the time, so I was grinding it out. And there was nobody that I knew that was doing the same thing. So everybody around me, whenever I try to talk to them and tell them, they would ask me, what are you going to do? They would give me feedback. Hey, you're always working. You got to slow down. Why don't you take a break? But I wasn't tired. Physically, I might have been physical tired, like sleeping, but I was still had that fire in me that was still driving. I still wanted more. But I didn't know anybody else like that. And since I was the only one like that, whenever I have these conversations right now, what I'm doing right now with these YouTube videos and stuff, I can have conversations with any, but certain topics, I feel like it's a waste of time. I'm pretty sure if you're watching this video, same thing. I want to have a meaningful conversation with substance. Unless it's a real quick thing, like, hey, what's up? You know what I mean? Just brief introduction. But if I actually know you and I have your number and we're talking, I want to have some type of substance, a conversation with substance, because my time's valuable. You know what I mean? And so is yours. So this is where you're stuck. You have relationships, but do you feel truly connected, or are you just going through the motions? So as you can see here on level 3, this is the one that I really wanted to focus on. So you can see on the screen, signs you're stuck. You'll have stuff like surface level friendships only, feeling lonely despite being around people. Relationships feel transactional, feeling, or it says family sees you as a provider, not a person. Family sees you as a provider, not a person. That was one of the big things. And if you really want to get further down, you can pick up books, grab some books like leadership books, or one of the ones I talk about is the 5 love languages. And there's just a whole bunch of books that you can do about communication. Especially there's a bunch of YouTube channels you can get into, how to communicate, understanding how our brain works. One of the things that I picked up on that I didn't even know, maybe you don't know, but you know how they say, I don't know if you ever heard of them saying, don't think about a pink elephant. And the first thing you did was about a pink elephant. Or don't think about maybe a black cat standing on his 2 legs holding a birthday cake with the number 7 on it, or the number 7 on it. So either way, no matter what I just said right now, no matter how I told you don't think about it, you still thought about it. Why is that? Well, it's because your subconscious doesn't process the word no. No negative terms. Forget what the actual term is called. But none of those, don't, all that kind of stuff, all those little words. Whenever you talk to your kids, and you'll start to begin to see whenever you talk to your kids that you say, don't spill the cup. First thing you do is spill the cup. Don't go over there. First thing they do is go over there. Well, it's because their minds are the same like ours, and they don't process the words don't. So you have to say, stay by me. Keep the water in the cup. You have to learn how to communicate with them properly And then now you can start to see and understand why these things are happening. But there's so many levels to this. This is just one of the things that I found, and I was like, man, this is pretty powerful. The reason why I like this hierarchy of needs is because it actually gives you a step-by-step framework. I'm kind of analytical. Well, I'm pretty analytical. And I like to have a roadmap. Where I'm at right now, where do I want to go? Because this helps me figure out what's the next move. So level 4, these are esteem needs. Achievement mode. What is it? Self-respect and respect from others. Recognition for accomplishments, confidence in ability, status, and prestige. Signs you're stuck here. Chasing next achievement, hoping it'll fill a void. Need external validation to feel worthy. Can't slow down or you feel worthless. So these are different ones. I put it on the screen right now. You can go through it. This is another one that you can work on. One thing I like about this PDF, no matter where you're at, you can actually see. I created this PDF. It's down in the description, the link. Grab that. It's free. What it does for you is it'll ask you a couple questions so that way you can figure out where you're at in the levels when it comes to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's 2 pages and it's pretty cool. It's got a little scorecard. It's pretty wicked. It's free. The link's in the description. So level 5, self-actualization. This is purpose mode. This is basically level 5 is being congruent in all areas. And again, we have signs you've reached here. Have a clear why beyond providing. You feel like you're becoming who you're meant to be. Life feels meaningful and aligned. Make decisions from purpose, not pressure. Define your legacy beyond your bank account. Ask, how can I serve something bigger than myself? Align daily actions with long-term purpose. Focus on significance over success. This is where fulfillment lives. Not more success, but more significance. Not more achievement, but more alignment. One of the things I got from Andy Elliott, when I came out here, we see him every month. And one of the things I got from him was being congruent in all areas. And he was talking about, which I'm pretty sure I heard Ed Milet talk about this too. So Andy says, whenever you're by yourself, act like there's a camera following you, like a camera crew following you, and see if you're actually doing the stuff you're supposed to be doing. And if you act like there's a camera crew following you, I guarantee some of the stuff you're doing right now, you ain't gonna be doing it no more. Now, Ed Milet, he talks about having a thermostat set inside a house. So whenever you have a thermostat set, let's say you have it at 70, what happens whenever it goes above 70? It tells the air conditioner to kick on, right? Well, what happens whenever it goes below 70? What shuts the air conditioner off? And so you have a thermostat of what it is you want in life. And now, if you don't know what you want, well, that thermostat is just like free ranging, just going with the flow basically. But once you know exactly what you want, you set that thermostat, and guess what starts happening? Life starts happening and happening for you. And you're no longer, why does this happen to me? I know if you're watching this video, you don't have that attitude because you wouldn't have made it this far. So links in the description. I hope this video helped. Looking forward to seeing you in the next YouTube video. Grab that PDF, it's free. And if you have gone through the PDF, you still feel stuck, I'm gonna put the link in the description to book a meeting with me. If you still feel stuck and you're having trouble and got the PDF, you already went through it, trying to work, you can't figure it out, hey man, book a call. It's free, it's 30 minutes, and we'll see where you're at and see what you gotta do next. Not charging. I do this just to pay it forward.